Good evening, good morning, and good night. Welcome to Inappropriate Radio. It's your host, Tashana. Let's get into this. So, hi guys. No periodic table, no alien talk. However, the creator came through with the message. Alright, you already know. So, if this is your first time here, welcome. Hi. Thank you for tuning in. Please follow me on YouTube. I'm under Inappropriate Radio TV. All right. So I got this download about maybe 2 or 3 days ago. And the creator was basically enlightening me on how people that are truly gifted can move a little too fast. Okay. If you are naturally gifted, not extracting gifts from people, not using other people's energy, not using like divination tools. I mean, if this thing is in your bloodline, if you have been blessed and cursed, endowed, I would say, for lack of better terms, with spiritual gifts, then you are naturally on another timeline. Okay, this is why you're moving faster, and it's more than likely because the creator is warning you beforehand, whether you get a vision, a dream, some sort of message, or if he's just outright telling you, warning you about something, right? Or just simply giving you a heads up. You are naturally going to be on a different timeline. Now, like, I'll use like Nelly and Ashanti for an example, right? These two people, they were in a relationship. They separated for a period of 10 years, right? We always talk about these cycles. That's a cycle. That sounds to me like the ending of a cycle, like that threshold, that 10-year threshold. Sounds like they were in the midst of a spiritual cycle, meaning wherever they started off in this life, they picked back up on it in this life from where, from something that was from a past life. And then they had to close that cycle off. And in order for them to come back together, they had to close the cycle in order to start a new cycle. Now, sometimes, and this doesn't have to be in relationships, right? This could be with family members, business partners, just your career, your purpose, right? Your spirit overall. You have to sometimes close cycles because you're calling in new energy, or because those cycles that you're on have a lot of trauma and toxicity related to them, and you both have healing that you need to do. And before you can do anything of the creator and of prosperity, you need to start a new timeline, or you need to start a new frequency, right? You need to start whatever you're doing, whether it's by yourself or with someone else, with a new energy, right? This is why people, they get baptized, they're born again, they take Shahada, they go on vacation, right? You need a fresh energy. You need to dispose of the energy that you're currently in to start something new. You need the new frequency, right? When you are the person that the creator has chosen to end cycles and start new cycles, you tend to move a little bit ahead of the curve, a little bit faster than everyone else. So you have to learn how to give people grace. You have to extend grace. And you have to be a lot more patient with people, because some people are going to not awaken at all, right? But their energy is still required to be a reminder for you. And your energy is there to fuel them in some way or another. While some people, they're going to need your energy for their awakening. It's going to be your energy that puts them exactly where they need to be to get where they're going, right? Now, you could be the person, and when we say chosen, we're saying you are going to be someone who is elected by the Creator, right? To make a change, to lure more souls in for Him, to raise up, to remove darkness and shed light, and to remind people and make them aware of His presence and His goodness and His grace, right? But there are people who have been endowed with spiritual gifts, but they just use it for bad. Okay? So whether you use this gift, this energy for good or bad, they're still on a different timeline. Hence the reason why people who are witches and warlocks and they're, attacking you, and these people are shape-shifting and they're doing negative things with their frequency, this is why they get to attack you, and sometimes they get to know where to attack you because they too are of a different vibration, right? They're ahead of the curve as well. They're just of a lower energy. Remember, we talked about people who are of low vibrations, but they're at the higher end of that frequency, right? You have some demons that are really, really, really low. They're like low vibrational and they're bad. And then you have a higher vibration of those bad. And yeah, there's a difference. It matters. I know it sounds crazy. But what you can always do is, if you don't believe what I'm saying, or if what I'm saying sounds like a bunch of jibber jabber, you can always refer to spiritual and religious texts, right? Not just the Bible and the Quran. There are other books from different cultures, right? And they're not just religious or spiritual. They're just books about different cultures, about history, right? About the different ways that other cultures perceive different things, like the afterlife. Different things that are related to spirituality, right? About the afterlife, about frequency, about, the different foods we eat, about traveling, about different energies that are required to just exist. Animals and plants, all of these different studies and these different ways. And I don't really have any books that I can refer you to. I'm just throwing it out there that while you are listening, do your own research. Understand that what I'm saying is based off of the intuition that the Creator has blessed me with, the information that He's giving me to and leading me to, as well as Him giving me the intelligence, right? Enough intelligence to go and do research, actual research, like go on Google Scholar, go to the library, right? To confirm the things that I'm saying. I'm going to always refer you to the Bible and the Quran because both of those books are great guides, right? And they serve as a tool. And I'm going to always tell you to go on Google and look up scientific as well as Google Scholar, right? Google and Google Scholar, like a person like that is scholarly, like scholarship. Look up peer-reviewed text, right? Published work, things that are out there, right? That have a little bit more context, because so much energy and resources has been poured into it to come up with whatever it is that they've been finding. A lot of science will back up a lot of what research says about, spirituality, religion, as it pertains to not just Christianity and Islam, but other, cultures across the many diasporas, right? So you don't have to take what I'm saying even with a grain of salt. You can literally do your own research, and I promise you, I'm not far off. You will see the connection, all right? But These timelines, some of them merge, some of them are broken off. So I'll give you an example. Let's just say you have a family member that you haven't spoken to in 2 years, and then someone has a baby or someone dies. Same thing, right? Right? Those are endings and beginnings. Okay? Let's just say you have a friend that you used to hang out with. You all moved away when you were in grade school, and then you run back into them in college. You go to the same college. The ending of a timeline, and then a new one, right? One's being stopped and another one being started. Your energies were enough for each other at that point in time, and then the two of you needed each other's energy again at a later point, once you were able to recalibrate and learn some other things in order to come back. Like I said, it doesn't have to be like a romantic thing. It could be anything. It could be a relationship with yourself, right? You having to die, you having to sacrifice and give things up, you having to. And when I say sacrifice and give things up, I'm not talking about a blood sacrifice or joining some covenant and saying, hey, I'm going to give up my niece to, gain material wealth and popularity and status in this realm. I mean, stopping things that bring you joy in order to gain the favor of the Creator, in order to become closer to your higher self. Okay. And we can go into that at a later, period. Because the camera is definitely about to be rolling pretty soon. But, this is something that we absolutely positively need to make sure we are doing in one of the best, lights there is. Sometimes it's going to get dark, it's going to get ugly, but it's a war. It's a spiritual war, right? But you have to make sure that the timeline that you're on is the timeline you're supposed to be on. That's the only caveat here, right? You have to make sure that you are in the correct frequency for the appropriate timeline, because you are being shown so many things that are to come. You don't want to move too fast. You don't want to move too slow. So that might be something you need to tap in with the Creator with, to make sure, because sometimes this can make the right people come in at the wrong time, right? Or this can put you in the right rooms at the wrong time. This can bring the right finances at the wrong time. It's not that you're tricking the universe, but because you are who you are and you carry a particular vibration and frequency, the universe has already identified that it owes you a balance. So you're thinking, right? Because you intuitively know that you have this credit, right? You can think it and it can come prematurely, because you want it and it's already owed to you. And that's a whole different topic. But, if you're not ready for it, meaning you're still making childish decisions, you're not mature enough, you haven't, learned enough lessons, you're still around the wrong people, you still haven't, worked on your attitude and your habits, you still don't, know if you're willing to make certain sacrifices, like all of those little details can allow things to come to you a little bit beforehand, or sometimes even leaving situations before you should, can kind of prompt the universe to send and usher things in before you're ready. All right, but I'm going to end it here. I do hope you guys enjoyed your weekend. I hope y'all are enjoying y'all summer. It's hot out there, ain't it, right? I hope y'all are drinking your water, eating your fruit and vegetables, and sipping on your own tea, because it's free. All right, love y'all. Peace.